Good day everyone. So we are now on the part 2 of our TKinter widget. So right now we'll be talking about the scroll bar. So this is scroll bar. Scroll bar adds vertical or horizontal scrolling capabilities to other widgets. So I have an example code of my using scroll bar widgets, and the output is like this on the right side corner of my presentation. So let's talk about our example code. So the first line here is our TKinter library, which you encode as import TKinter as TK. And now we initialize the main window of our TKinter. And this code, we create a text widget. Text widget for displaying a large amount of text. And on this part, scroll bar. So the scroll bar, it is a vertical scroll bar value. So scroll bar is equal to tk that scroll bar root window orient is equal to vertical. So presentation of our scroll bar is vertical, with a link to our widget. Oh, using this one. So the next statement here, the TK widget, the config. This is to configure the text widget to use as a scroll bar for a vertical scrolling. So this one. And on this side, for I in range 1 to 51, this one is to insert some sample text on our text widget that ranges from 1 to 50. And on the last statement, this is our run the main loop of our window. So the output will be like this if we're going to run our code. So the next widget that we'll be talking is the menu widget. So the menu creates a menu bar at the top of the window. So the top of the window, dito yan, on this side, nakikita nyo yung file. Ayan. So we have an example code using our menu widget. So again, we're going to import our TKinter library. So on this side, and we initialize our main application window using the roots equal to tk function, and we create our this code. We create the main menu, and through the configure, we configure a root window to display it as a menu. And for the submenu, under menu. So, ito yung command na gagamitin natin, and we add a file menu to the main menu and attach it as a sub menu over here. As we add our sub menu, now we're going to add a value, another sub menu that is under or labeled as a new using this one. So, ito under menu. So ito naman under the file menu that we're going to add label new, and now we're going to run the main loop, display it in our window using the root.main loop. So if we're going to run this code in our Python, ito yung output niya. So dito under file, meron pa dyang new. Okay. So now we're done with the menu widget. Then we will go to the combo box widget. So combo box widget is a drop-down menu to select one of the many options. So saan ba ginagamit ito? So sa paggamit ng combo widgets, marami tayong option na pinipili. For example, religion. Okay. As long as more than 3 or above, okay, na mga options. Kasi kung dalawa lang, huwag na natin gamitin si combo box. So mas better gamitin natin si radio button. So since maraming option naman, gamitin natin si combo box. So now I have here an example code. Meron tayong example code. Ayan, dyan yan. And the output is like this. So again, we're going to import our TKinter library using import TKinter SDK, and we're going to create the main window of, kasi ito naglagay tayo dito ng root geometry to have a fixed window. So ito naman si root.title is the title of our window. So ito yung ito yung pag-initialize natin. Okay. Then after that one, from our code, we use the define on selection event on selection function, wherein we're going to print the selected item of the combo box. So if we're going to select option 1, so mang output niya from our command, i-print niya you selected option 1. So here, um, the combo is equal to TK combo box is our list of our specified values, which are option 1, option 2, option 3, and option 4. So ito naman yung default na i-display niya. So yan yung nakikita natin dito sa example na UI. Okay. So aside from that, the combo bind attaches the selection function to the combo box event. Okay. So on selection is being called, and on selection is being called, so yes, on selection it is in the function. So while the combo pack naman is for the layout only of our combo box. So now the statement root that menu is to start the main loop, no, to run our TKinter. So if you run the program, ito yung output niya. And whenever we click this one, so mayroon yung lalabas na option 1, option 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So pag pinili natin si option 2, so on our console, mayroon dyang lalabas na you selected option 2. So the next is we have the scale widget. So scale widget naman allows user to select a numeric value in a given range. So ito yung sample code natin at ito yung sample output. Okay. So now we're going to import our TKinter library using this first statement. So the second line, again, we create our main window of the TKinter application. Then the scale is equal to scale root from 1 to 10. So we are creating a scale widget with the range from 0 to 10. Okay. So while the scale pack adds the scale widget to the window and makes it visible. So now the root main loop is to start our TKinter application. So the scale widget is very useful for selecting a numerical value within a specified range. Specific lang, no? Commonly used in a GUI application for inputs like volume, brightness, opacity, mga fix lang, no? Kasi 1 to 100 lang. Yun yung mga example niya. Okay, so let's now proceed to the next widget. We have the top level widget. So top level widget, we create a new top level window. So now let's discuss my example code. So ito yung example output natin. So again, we're going to have our TKinter library and we create our window of the TKinter. So ito naman The root the title sets the title of our main window, which is this one. Well, being on the top level, that top level is equal to tk top level root, so create the new top level window that is associated with our main window. So this top level window separates from the main window, but still it manages our TKinter root. Now, since we have the top level, the title, we are now setting the title of our top level window to being a sub window and title. So, ito na yung top level title natin. As we run our TKinter main loop. So, if you run the code, yung output niya is ito. So, ever mayroon kayong menu dyan, for example, file, click natin yung new and papalabas sa inyo si form niya intended for that menu, then you can use this top level widget. So top level widget is very useful when you need a multiple window in your application. While the message widget displays a multi-line text like a label but allows wrapping. So we have here an example code. Ito yung example output niya. We are now importing the TKinter library. Now our main window for TKinter. Our variable msg is equal to message. Now we are creating the message widget in this part. With the text value to be displayed, this is a message. While the message pack adds the message widget to the window and makes it visible, and in the start of our main loop, and now let's go to the next. Here is we have the menu button widget. So menu button widget displays a button that shows a menu when being clicked. So this is an example code. Our TKinter library and our root TKinter main TKinters and the menu button is equal to taking menu button with that text is equal to file. So this creates our menu button widget labeled file. So this button is designed to display a menu when being clicked. So this button is designed to display a menu being clicked, so though no menu or options are attached in the basic example. So the lost. Okay, so the menu widget is useful for implementing the drop-down style menus. Okay, so this is an example code. Our TKinter library and our root TKinter main TKinters and the this creates our menu button widget labeled file. So this button is designed to display a menu when being clicked. So this button is designed to display a menu being clicked, so though no menu or options are attached in the basic example. So the menu pack is to make it visible in our window, and now the root main loop is keeping the main window open until manually closed. Okay, so the menu widget is useful for implementing the drop-down style menus for features like file edit or help. So in a TKinter GUI. So we are now on the progress bar widget. So progress bar widget uses to display a visual representation of a progress in a task. So an example of this one, if you have tasks that have a step-by-step process in a percentage format, so you can have this one as 10% completion, 20% completion, and so on and so forth. So progress bar widget sa TKinter found in TTK module. So this one provides again representation of a progress in a task and commonly used to indicate in loading, processing, and completion percentage. So we have here an example of a code. No? So again, from TKinter imports the TTK module from the TKinter, which is provides theme for the widget intended for our progress bar. So we have also here our root is equal to tk function. It creates our main window for the TKinter application and for our progress bar. So it creates our progress bar widget in our main window. While the progress that pack as the progress widget in the window and make it visible. And for our root that main loop starts the TKinter main loop keeping the window open until it manually close. No, close button. So progress bar widget is useful providing feedback on tasks that take time, such as file downloads, installation, or some lengthy computation. So the output for this code, ito yung output niya. Huh? Now let's talk about the another tool in the TKinter widget. We have the spin box. So spin box allows user to select value from a range, or from a range of values. So this is our example code, and using this code this is our output. Okay, so spin box allows user to select a value from a specified range by clicking this one arrows up and button, or you can type it directly on it. So it is useful in inputting fields that has in a range of fixed values, such as by selecting the quantity, uh, age, ano pa ba? Those are the some examples about it. And now let's discuss our code. So again, we are importing our TKinter library, and as to our root, it creates our main window of the TKinter. And now here we are displaying our spinbox widget, which has a value integer from 1 to 10. Okay, and again using the spin.pack, it adds our widget and make it visible to our window. And for the root.main loop, again starts our TKinter main loop, and we make it open until it is manually closed. So that's all for the spinbox widget. Now for our text widget. Text widget is used for entering and displaying multiple lines of text. So by we use entering display multiple line of text, it provides a scrollable area where users, so on this side of the UI, if you have a large amount of area, meron na siyang scrollable scroll bar, built-in scroll bar, wherein the users can scroll only. And so this text values is suitable for logs, could be notes or multiple lines of input and output. Okay, so we have here an example of a code which will display as an output like this. And let's discuss our code on using the text widget. So again, this side we are importing our TKinter library, and we create our main window, and this code states that we are using our text widget in our main window and accepts multiple lines of input, and this one command or codes piece of code, we use it to make our text widget visible in our window. And for our root.main loop, we use this one to start our TKinter main loop and keeping it open until it was manually closed. Now let's proceed to the canvas widget. So canvas widget enables us to drawing shapes, images, and complex layouts. By doing this, it is a powerful tool. It's a powerful widget for developing a graphical interfaces, animations, and custom drawings. So you have an example code using the canvas widget, and the output will be like this. Okay, so now let's discuss our simple code here. So again, using this one is importing our TKinter library and our main window of our widget. And for this one, this canvas equal to tk canvas root. So this is the basic setup. We'll create an empty canvas with no specific size or content. So again, this one is used to make our canvas widget to make it visible in our window, and this one we start the TKinter min loop, keeping it open until it manually closed. So we have another one, the pad window widget. So the pad window widget manages the resizing of its child widget in horizontal or the vertical direction. So the pad widget, it is useful for layouts where you want to have resizable sections, like in a file or an editor where you can adjust the size of the different panes. Okay. We have here an example for a panned window. So again, we are importing our TKinter library and our main window for TKinter application, and the PW is equal to TK panned window is we create a panned window widget by default that arranges its child widget horizontal for the w.pack. So this piece of code, so it adds our panned window widget to the window and make it visible. And for the last statement, again we start our TKinter main loop and keeping it open until it manually closed. So we have here three main geometry managers for widget layouts in the pan window. So we have the pack, the grid, and the place. So the pack stacks widget vertically or horizontally, while the grid organizes widget in a table-like structures, while the place positions widget at a specific x, y coordinates. So those are the three main geometry managers for widget layout. Okay, again. So in geometry management, I have an example code. This example code creates only a simple GUI with two buttons. These are the example output, two buttons, button 1, button 2, positioned on the opposite sides of the window using the back of the geometry. So by clicking with this command, um, we display two buttons, button 1 and button 2. Okay. So let's now discuss our simple code around here. So again, we import our TKinter library and we initialize our main window. And for the button 1, so we create a button around here which is labeled to button 1. On this command, button 1.pack, it places our button 1 on the left side of the window. So it's like this. On the button 2, so we create a button which is labeled to button 2, and it places our button 2 on the right side of our window. So when you run this code, it will display like this, and these two buttons will be positioned on the opposite sides of the window. So now we have the creating a basic TKinter window. Simple lang. We have a root window running in the main loop. We put a title is hello. Our title bar hello TKinter. Huh? So na sample ko again, we have used our TKinter library. We import the TKinter library and we initialize our main window, and by using the root title, um, our main window title, uh, we labeled it as hello TKinter. So our root main loop, we start our main loop and make it open until it was manually closed. So we have another one here, an example. Arranging widget layout manager. So this TKinter offers 3 layout manager for arranging widget of backgrid and place. So our example code, here, displaying two labels, label 1 and label 2, and we label our window according to the rows and column. So in row 1, row 0, and column 0, we label this our first label. For the value of our second label, we position it in our grid as row 0 and column 1. So this is our 0, this is our column 1, and for our row 0. No? So our root.main loop, um, we start our main loop window and we make it open until it was manually closed. So we have here another example of capturing input with entry of a widget. So this is a user input. Mm, So our code here in our library, TKinter library, in our Python. So we have an entry of a box and a button. When the button is being clicked on our submit, it prints the text entered in the entry box to the console. So let's just say this is our console, and let's execute this command. So again, we import our TKinter library, our initialize main window, and our entry.root. So ito yan, i-display natin. We create our entry widget and we make it visible to our window, and our button. Yan. Button, we create our button, TK that button, and we have a text value of submit, this one, and the command lambda. Huh? By doing this, the value, we display print and entry, our entry, this one, we get the value. So we print it by clicking our button. So if we print hello, so on our console it will display here as hello. So in our last statement, our last statement, uh, We start our main loop and it is open until it was manually closed. So another example, uh, here is the TKinter widget like button support event handling to support perform actions based on user. So this is our based on our command. We import our TKinter library and we have our function, define function, say hello, which will print hello world in our console. Okay, so we initialize our main window. So our button, a button, we labeled our button as say hello, and we call the command of say hello, which is our function. So we display, make it visible in our window. So upon clicking say hello, so in our console, it will display hello world. So root that main loop, we start our TKinter main loop and it is open until it was manually closed. I have another one example working with advanced widget. There is a TKinter advanced widget including canvas for drawing shapes and menu for navigation. So in this example, we draw a blue line and a red rectangle on a canvas. So we import our TKinter library and by building a graphical user interface, and we have our initialize um, main window by doing the canvas at tk.canvas. This one, the canvas has been specified with a width of 200 pixels and a height of 100 pixels. So the canvas is like a drawing the area of the shapes where it can be drawn. No. So here and on canvas that create line, there's a create line. We draw a blue line because it's colored as blue. Fill it blue. Blue line from the coordinates of 0 0 going to 200 to 100, and it will fill a blue color. Okay, so that's why you have here 0 0 going up to here, right line. So again, we create another canvas which value is rectangle. So this rectangle top left corner, on our top left corner, it will start here from a value of 50 and 20. Okay, up to going to the bottom right corner to here, it's a value of 150 to 80. Be filled with a red color. So let me draw that main loop. So we start our TKinter main loop, and it will be open until it was manually closed. So this program, simple program, creates a window containing the canvas of a blue diagonal line and also a red rectangle on the canvas, and red rectangle. And another example is building a simple GUI. It is a basic calculator for a simple application, no? So in it can accommodate addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So this code is a simple calculator of our TKinter library. Okay, so let's start explaining using this code, and the output of that code will be this one. So when we are importing our TKinter library, which is built in our GUI components, and as for this, we have our function calculate, or when it is triggered or being clicked our button, no, it takes the input from the entry from our text field and evaluates the expression by using eval, no, and stores it in the result of a variable, while the eval function is used to evaluate strings as a Python expression. Okay, so this is our function, the result, that set, so eval, so our entry that get. So ito po, kukunin niya yung entry natin. So we have here our entry widget, which will be we are creating our entry widget and display it in our window, and variable result is equal to sticky. That string bar creates a variable to hold the result of the calculation. So the result will be displayed in a labeled widget, this side we are creating our label widget that will display the result calculation in the text variable attributes, which is binded to calculate. So yan, to label to the result variable, so it will automatically update when the result is change. So 2 times 2, 4. So kung magiging 2 plus 3 yan, it will become here 5. So it will automatically change upon clicking this button calculate. Okay, so we display our button in our main window, make it visible in our main window, and for the root.main loop, again we start our main loop and making it open until it was manually closed. Okay, so this simple GI calculator, where the user will input on the entry widget by using a mathematical expression such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and by clicking the calculate button, it displays the result on our label. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. Thank you for listening, and that is all for our TKinter widgets.